Hi, my name is Daniela Rossi, and I create comics about stuttering, starring Frankie Banky, a cartoon fox who stutters just like I do. So, giving a commentary on this comic that I drew on the theme of the first day of school, particularly going around the room and introducing ourselves. Now, for someone who stutters, we tend to also stutter on our names. And that could be embarrassing. We're asked, "Did you forget your name?" So as a kid, it can be very difficult. Now, this is based on true experiences when I was a kid in school in the 80s, way back then, and just like in the comic, my anxiety level would go higher and higher with each subsequent student. I hope that's the right word. And but for me, my stomach would hurt a lot. So the pain in my stomach would increase until it was my turn, and then time to say my name, and I would stutter it and feel mortified as we continued on with that funny game of going around the room. So this comic actually has kind of two endings. So one ending, which is different. It's more of a if I had known then what I know now, all I would have done was just say that I stuttered, because which is fine, because there's nothing wrong with stuttering. It's just something different that we do, not our fault, nobody's fault. And when you tell people that you stutter, basically you're telling them that you stutter. So telling people means they'll know, oh, that's why he's talking like that, and they're not going to ask silly questions like, have you forgotten your name? And it just clears the air. And it also opens up conversation. Oh, what's it like to stutter? Why do you stutter? What can I do? And things like that. Hopefully that's are questions people will ask. And there's a kind of like an epilogue where afterwards Frankie Banky is breathing a sigh of relief. And it's like, whew. So even though you could be as accepting of your stuttering like I am, you own it, you could still feel anxiety, feel the judgment, because there is still that stuttering stigma, you know. So more Frankie Banky comics over at frankiebanky.com. But first, probably wondering why I'm not stuttering that much. So my stutter did decrease as I got older. It also decreased a bit as I became more open about my stuttering. There we go. Another one is also when I'm speaking by myself, for example, in a situation like this, recording a video, there's nobody else in the room, I don't stutter that much. But my stutter is more of a mild to moderate, but I do have a lot of severe moments. And thank goodness I disclose my stuttering. I tell people I stutter. It's not a big deal. I kind of feel it's a bit cool, which is why I have a podcast called Stuttering is Cool. So details on that over at stutteringIsCool.com. So let me know. This whole going around the room, introducing ourselves in school and also in the workplace, we do that a lot in conference calls. So leave your comments in the comments, or share your story in the comments. There you go. I'm doing this all from the top of my head. Anyway, may your stuttering always be with confidence. Ciao.